Welcome to episode 66, where evil things will happen like ghosts and ghouls and devils and fire and blood out of our eyes and Kevin vomiting uncontrollably. Oh wait, he already does that. All over my house, on my carpets, specifically on the carpets. Kevin, stop. Stop barfing. That's all I ask. Yep, what's up, guys? It's episode 66. Both Kevins were here for a second, and then, of course, boy Kevin, he had to go. He has a full schedule of doing nothing and mostly vomiting. And pooping so many times a day. Dude, we got that Rolls Royce litter boxes. It's giving me way too many stats on this cat. I don't need to know how much he weighs 4 times a day. I don't need to know how many times he goes to the bathroom. I don't need to know, but I'm knowing. Guys, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter this week because of how I've been rambling on too long. This is supposed to be a short drive podcast, and let me tell you that 30 minutes of a short drive podcast has been just inching its way into the 40-minute territory, and I know y'all are like, hey, this ain't a short drive podcast anymore unless I'm hitting traffic or construction, right? So I'm praying you guys are hitting construction because then my podcast is still relevant to your drive. Yes, I hope you all hit construction. Just kidding. I love you guys, and I don't need you swerving around those orange cones. I don't want orange cones anywhere near you. I want you to have a pleasant drive to work. This is a story of redemption. I wonder if I'm savvy enough. Hey, girl, Kevin, do you think I'm savvy enough to add like a cool effect to that, like an echo that makes it sound really epic? Let's try again. This is a story of redemption. Redemption. Episode 66. Yeah, so hopefully there was some kind of effect that I just put on that. Otherwise, I just said it weird. Girl Kevin's here, boy Kevin gone. It's all good. Everything's just happening the way it should. So let me tell you something. The worst thing happened, you guys. Oh, hi, girl Kevin. So I had the most embarrassing moment in a very, very long time. And you guys are going to be like, what? It probably wasn't that bad. It was that bad. So this is, you know what? I'm going to say it right now. This is going to be an inspiring episode. And I want y'all to listen to it and actually like understand what I'm trying to tell you because it's important and I want to inspire you. And this is going to be a good one. So as you guys know, I'm a singer and I sing around town in Vegas. I like do little like fill-in gigs sometimes, right? So there's these cover bands, right? And they sing all these covers that people love, and they're like, "Sweet Home Alabama," and then all the drunk tourists are like, "I know that one. I've heard of Alabama before." And then they dance and they drink more, and that's really the ultimate goal for any show in Vegas is to get people to drink more, because that's where the money comes from, is the alcohol and the gambling. So gamble and drink, sweet home Alabama, drink more. So sometimes I sing, with Von Bolt with my band, and sometimes I sing, with some friends' bands, with people I feel comfortable with who I know. But every once in a while, I'll do like a sub-in gig where their lead singer is not available. And so they call me and they're like, learn 35 songs and then come sing them without rehearsing at all. Right? I'm a girl who loves rehearsals. I love rehearsals. I would rehearse before every podcast if I had the time. But that defeats the whole point of the off-the-cuffedness. Is that a word? Of what the podcast is supposed to be. But anyway, I just love preparing. I love rehearsals. I love going over my lines way too many times. I'm an over-preparer. And I've always been like that. I like to know, I like to be in control. I like to know what's going to happen. What does the venue look like? Where am I going to park? Are there amplifiers where I can hear myself? Like, how is the stage off the ground? I just like to know all the details before I show up. So the fill-in gigs are a little hard. And so it's the second time that I've done a fill-in gig for this band. And there's a couple songs that like I didn't really want to learn. One in particular was Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. So here we go again, you say you want your freedom. It is the most snooze fest of a song ever created. This song is so boring. It is the most boringest song. This song is awful. This song sucks. This song seriously blows. I hate this song. And I hate it even more now, but I hated it even before before I sang it. When I had to learn it, I'm like, I hate this song and I don't want to learn it. It's a bad song and this is not good. Even though by the way, I like Stevie Nicks, I like Fleetwood Mac, don't like this song. It's bad. It's repetitive. It's boring. It's like the same note the whole song. Oh, players only love you when they're playing. The lyrics are dumb. I just don't like it. You know, it's like how Stevie Nicks is like basically, she's like a witch, right? She's a fairy. Like if somebody told me that like Stevie Nicks lived for 3 years in the forest, just like doing charms and talking to birds and wearing a flowy gown and just spinning around in circles, I would totally believe that. At no point would I doubt that. She's a woodland fairy witch, and then she came into society and wrote songs, and here we are. A lot of them are good. What's that one that's like, gosh, what's the song with there's like an eagle or a bird or something? It's a bird, and it's about growing up. It's a number. The song is a number. It's like, what is this song? It's a Stevie Nicks song. It's about a bird, and it's the title is a number. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna need a moment. Oh my gosh, yes. Just like a one-winged dove, take the songs and let you singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby. That's what it is. And it's a song, and it's called like the Edge of 13. Edge of 17! Ah! I got it. It's called Edge of 17, and it goes, just like a one-winged dove, take the songs and let you singing. Ooh, baby. You get it. So I completely lost my train of thought because that was really bothering me. It wasn't an eagle, it was a dove. And it wasn't 13, it was 17. I was in that ballpark. I was there. I was playing a completely different sport, but I was in the arena, playing the wrong sport in the sports arena. It's all good. I was there. So it's fine. So anyway, I didn't like this song because it blows. Dreams blows. It's the worst song. And yeah, some women find it very nostalgic. It's a good breakup song. I don't know. It's like, very hippie, whatever. The song sucks. Song sucks. And I didn't want to learn it, but I did anyway. And I was like, it's fine. It's going to be great. And I did actually practice it a lot. I practiced all of the songs a lot. I put a lot of work and a lot of effort into it because I care. Your girl cares. I care. Sometimes too much. Sometimes I care too much. But that's why I have a podcast, because then I can bottle up that too much caring energy and just blah, blah on your short drive, while you're trying to avoid those orange cones. So I practiced. The gig came. The gig day arrived. I'm like, here we go. Gonna go sing 35 songs or however many with this band who I barely know, who I haven't really even met. I don't really know. Do I know all their names? I think I do. Yeah, they're cool, but I know nothing about them. I've never rehearsed with them. I've sung with them one time. So here we go. It's gonna be great. We're at the fabulous Westgate Hotel and Casino in fabulous Las Vegas. Dude, Elvis used to live there. I'm singing that. It's hard to get perspective sometimes when you live in Las Vegas and you forget that everything here is actually fabulous. Like everything here is fabulous and historical and amazing, because anybody else in any other town would be like, oh my gosh, you got to like sing like on the strip, like at a famous hotel where Elvis used to live? Dude, Elvis pooped in that hotel. Elvis lived there, which means he pooped in there. I was singing in a building where Elvis pooped. Historic. So, I was trying to be cool about it. I was trying not to be nervous. The first set went okay. Did pretty good, only missed a couple words here and there. It's hard to remember the lyrics to all these songs, kind of whatever. Then the second set came, and it got to that song, that horrible song that sucks, that blows, that is the worst song ever written, that I hate so much. That was written by Stevie Nicks, who's a fairy who came out of the woods, and usually she writes good songs, but just like the One Winged Dove and the Edge of 17 song was not 13. It's not an eagle. It's actually a One Winged Dove, but it's actually like the worst song ever written. So had to sing Dreams, and here it comes, and the band's like playing the intro, and I'm like, yeah, here we go. When do I come in? Not really sure. Just pick the time, like now, right? When do I start singing? Now. So I started singing, and I started singing in the wrong key. And you non-musicians, you non-musical folk may not understand how bad that is. But for some reason, my ear caught one note on one of the guitars, and I thought that was my lead-in note. And so I started singing the whole song way out of key. And as I was singing it, I could tell it was bad. I could tell something bad was happening. And I was looking in the audience, and the audience could tell that something was not right. And my band members seemed very tense. And everything was tense and bad. And I started to sweat because I'm up on stage in front of a whole bunch of people at the historic hotel where Elvis pooped many times. And I'm singing the worst I've ever sung. This is absolutely my worst performance. And I was living it. I was feeling it. I was feeling how embarrassing it was. And let me tell you why this is significant for somebody like me. I've been on television since I was 12. And most of that television has consisted of me making a complete fool of myself. Go back and watch those All That episodes. I'm making a fool of myself 10 times an episode. I'm saying lines that might land, they might not. Maybe they're funny, maybe they're not. I'm wearing the craziest wigs. I got the craziest makeup on. At one point in the first season of All That, I had to wear what's called a flipper, meaning, you know, when you're a kid and all your teeth are just falling out all over the place. One of my teeth in the front fell out and it's very distracting. So I wore what's called a flipper, which is what they give child actors when they want to fill in their tooth when they're on TV. And it's just it's like a retainer, basically, with a fake tooth on it, and you stick it on there. And for some reason, it gave me a little bit of a lisp. So during the first season of All That, even though, you know, I was a kid and it's okay, I still I had a lisp and you know, doing stupid things and making a fool of myself, loving it the whole time, but still. And then even after All That ended, I was still doing more comedy TV. I was doing crazy sketches on the internet. I was working in video games, doing stuff for the Warp Zone, constantly. I constantly make a fool of myself. Even our residency on Tuesday nights at the Punk Rock Museum. We were ad-libbing. I would come in wrong on songs. I would sing the wrong part, but I would always turn it into a comedy bit. And my boys always had my back. I always had, you know, Nathan to my left, James to my right. Swap that. James on my left, Nathan on my right, Paul on my right, Chris to my back. I felt comfortable because I was surrounded by my friends. And I knew that they would have my back no matter what. And and when you're in that comfortable setting where you've made everybody your friend, the audience is your friend, you can stop the song. I would have been stop, let's start over. I sang in the wrong key. I could make a whole thing of it. But that wasn't the setting at the Westgate. It was a professional gig. It was a professional job that I was doing for this band. It's their residency. I'm just filling in for their usual singer. So it's not my show, it's theirs. So suddenly the girl who's made a fool of herself her whole life and doesn't even remember the last time she genuinely felt embarrassment, was standing up on a stage with lights and lots of people around her and a microphone that wish hadn't been that loud, but singing completely out of key. To the point where the band had to come up and whisper in my ear and try to get me back on track. And they were singing it to me. They were all still playing. They're kind of singing me the part. They're this is the key. So then, second part of the song, I got kind of back in key, then forgot some of the words, and then just felt awful. And then the next song, I forgot a bunch of the words, and it just kind of felt like it was all spiraling. You know, when one thing goes bad, then it's in your head. It got in my head immediately, and I was messing up all over the place. And I'm such a perfectionist, and I have such high standards for myself that I don't really mess up. You know, I don't really do badly. And I was doing badly. And it was a new feeling. I was doing badly in a environment where I couldn't lean on a comedic bit and I couldn't lean on my friends. I felt like I had nothing to lean on. I felt very alone, up on a stage, lots of people looking at me, and just giving the worst performance of my life in a way I didn't think I was capable of. It was so bad that audience members were coming up to me afterwards saying, "It's okay, it happens." How embarrassing is that? I had an old man with shiny shoes. Old man with shiny shoes, so shiny. Too shiny. Bro, your shoes are too shiny. They're blinding me. You're blinding me with your shiny shoes. And they were like green. They were like green, shiny shoes. This man was so old. Wonderfully dressed. Great suit, shiny shoes. He's looking great. He's a great looking old man. It's great, but he is an old man. And he did come up to me and he did say, maybe Fleetwood Mac is not for you. Maybe you should try Cyndi Lauper or something. It was so bad that a tiny old man with shiny shoes was giving me notes. And he was like, maybe you should never sing that again. And I agreed with him. No, he's nice. But I was like, thank you. I'll bring that up to the band. Thank you for that. And this is why it's so important to have people in your life that support you and love you, because I went right off stage and Sean looked me in the eyes and he knew. Sean knows me so well. He's known me for so long that he knew when I walked off stage I was not okay. He looked at me. He could probably see my eyes starting to well up with tears. And he was just like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not that big a deal. It's fine. It's okay. He was like, keep it together. It's all good. I love you. It's fine. Nobody cares. He said all the right things and he meant them and he's so sweet. And then of course the other band members came off stage and they were like, it's okay. It's fine. Like it happens. But just the fact that everybody, including audience members, were telling me it's okay, it happens, made me feel worse. Because then we're all in agreement. Hey, let's have a quick meeting here at the Westgate where Elvis has pooped. Let's just have a quick meeting of everybody. Bartenders, you can come over too. Anybody playing slot machines nearby, just pause the game. Just come over. Just everybody. Just everybody. We're having a big meeting. So we can all agree Lisa f***ed up really bad, right? Like that was the worst thing we've ever heard. Yeah, and she shouldn't sing Fleetwood Mac ever again, especially even though it's the worst song ever written. Like she made it 10 times worse somehow. Yes, we all agree. Let's tell her. And they told me very kindly, but it was acknowledged by everybody. So I just excused myself and I clopped to the bathroom because I was wearing high heels and I sounded like a horse. So I clip-clopped to the bathroom and there was a little couch in there and I just sat on the couch by myself and I started crying. Yay, yay, me crying in the bathroom at the Westgate. Yay, yay. Usually the only time I cry in bathrooms at strip hotels is when I have alcohol poisoning. Yes, because I drank too much. Hey, yes, but no. This time I was crying out of embarrassment. And I just did not understand this feeling because, like I said, I don't get embarrassed and I have very high standards and I don't mess up. So what is going on? And I still had another set to go. So it was very difficult to pull myself back over to the stage and get through another set. Thankfully, I didn't have too many songs to sing in the third set. And there were ones I knew really, really well that were much more my genre. So I finished strong-ish. It still wasn't my best, but I did okay and I got through it. And I think the audience had fun. I don't know. But all in all, very, very not good. And again, when it's not happening to you, I'm sure all of you are like, it wasn't that bad. Who cares? Like, it was Friday night or whatever. It's just Friday night at the Westgate. Like, no one cares. It's all good. Probably everybody forgot about it. It's all good. It's always worse. You always think it's worse than it is. Yes, I hear all of those things. I'm sure in my mind it was worse than it actually was. I get all of that. But it doesn't take away from the way that I was feeling, right? Like, feelings are valid. And I felt horrible. I felt so horrible that on the drive home, I thought I should quit music. I was already the last couple weeks prior to that gig thinking like, what is my direction? What am I doing? What am I doing in my career? I do all these little things. Do I have a grand plan? Is anything I'm doing working? Does anybody care? Am I just treading water? Am I spinning my wheels in the mud? What is going on? And then that happened. And I'm like, maybe I should just not do this anymore because if I'm capable of doing that on stage in front of people and feeling that horribly about it. Maybe it's not for me. Again, very irrational thought. But at the time, I definitely felt that way. But again, this is a story of redemption. Redemption. I really hope I can put some kind of effect on that. Otherwise, it's going to sound really strange. But again, so story of redemption. So here we go. About 2 days after that, this man here in town asked me to come kind of audition for him at the Cosmopolitan. Maybe not an audition. He just wanted to see me sing live because he'd seen my materials and he you know, I'm great. And he's like, you're great, but I want to see you sing live. So can you come on down to a place called the Barbershop at Cosmopolitan and just jump on stage and just sing a song so I can watch you live? And of course I said yes, because of course you say yes when somebody important is who you know and all your friends know and who you respect and, you know, asks you to do so. Yes, of course, let's do it. And then immediately it was like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. And it's true, guys. Like I do this all the time. I sing all the time in town. But for some reason, after the disaster that happened at the Westgate, just the idea of getting back on stage and doing another solo, again, I'll be singing with a band I've never met before, who've never rehearsed with, doing a song I haven't ever sung on stage before in front of a crowd. I don't know anybody out there. The idea of doing it again after I just bombed terrified me. I was terrified. I was terrified to the point that when the day came, which was yesterday, anytime throughout the day that I remembered I was singing later that night, I got sick to my stomach. I actually got sick to my stomach. It's like when you remember like the first boy you ever had a crush on in middle school and you're like, ew, well, he's in jail now. Collectively, it's the same for all of us. Whoever, it's the same for all of us, male or female, whatever, the person that you had a crush on in middle school is in jail now. It's just a fact of life. It's the way it goes. So I was not doing okay. And I thought about canceling it a couple times. I'm like, maybe it's not that big a deal. Maybe I need more time. Maybe I shouldn't do it. And then I kind of realized I had to take my own advice, which I've given on this podcast before, which is if it scares you, you got to do it. And you should always be doing things that scare you, that push you to a level that you're not sure that you can do it. Like you have to have those moments in your life where you're forced to step up and do the thing that you are not sure you can do or want to do. Sometimes you got to do it. Took my own advice, said, all right, we're doing it. Let's go. Let's do this. And I went through the same ritual that I used to do every Tuesday night at the Punk Rock Museum by putting my hair up in the Viking braids and doing my eye makeup with the dark, putting my fishnets on, getting battle ready, going down to the Cosmo, hearing them call my name. It was a massive crowd, by the way. I thought it was going to be empty. I was like, I'm just going to get there early. I'm going to be there right at 10, right when it starts. There's going to be nobody there. I'm going to sing for 5 people and no one's going to remember. It's going to be great. I'm just going to leave. No, it was packed. It was packed. It was, dude, this was my 8 Mile. You know, when he's like, I've been whatever and boot off stage. I basically had mom spaghetti down my shirt at the Westgate where Elvis has pooped before. My palms were sweaty. My knees weak. My arms were heavy. You know, that's how I felt. You know, blam, back to reality. That's how I felt. But then at the end of 8 Mile, there's so many people there when he's got to get back on stage for his and there were so many people there at Barbershop. And I heard them call my name. And I couldn't hesitate. I'm like, here we go. Let's do it. Let's get back on that horse. Let's get back on that horse. See what happens. And I got to tell you guys, I nailed it. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I nailed it, guys. I totally crushed it. I totally crushed it. Honestly, one of my best performances. I sang Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, which now, looking back, is very appropriate. But, you know, it starts out low with that, he walks barely down the street with the burn boy way down low. And then it gets to that big part where it's like, how do you think I'm gonna get along without you when I'm out? And it just hit just right. I felt comfortable up there, and I was doing my headbanging thing, and I was working the crowd, and the crowd was into it, and I felt comfy. I was cracking jokes with the guitarist. It went so well, and I felt so good. And I kind of had that moment of like, oh, she's back. Like, I remember who I am. This is the girl I am. The girl who sings the worst Fleetwood Mac song ever written on stage at the Westgate where Elvis has pooped and ruins it and then gets advice by a small old man with shiny shoes. That's not me. I don't know who that was, but she's gone. I need her to be gone because this is me. And I'm back. And I redeemed myself. And I felt really good. And again, back to that, it's so important to have people that support you. My friend Michael, my friend Kay also came out to Barbershop to support me. They didn't know it was a redemption story. They didn't know. They were just like, hey, let's go see our friend Lisa sing, because they're very supportive and very sweet. And of course, Sean was there, so supportive, so fun, kept me in a great mood the whole time, like knew I could do it. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like he didn't have to be like, you can do it. Because he just like, you are going to. So like, you can do it. And like, no, you're going to do it because you always do it because that's just what you do. And I was like, yeah, okay. And just looking out in the crowd and seeing those three, they had their phones out. They're filming me. Ouch, your nails are so sharp. That's probably my fault. I should probably trim your nails. Can you not be on my, can you not? Thank you. Looking out in the crowd, just seeing like, Sean smiling and Michael smiling and it's just Kay smiling. Like it was so cool. And then when I got off stage, just like so many people complimented me and they were just like, you were amazing. Like that was incredible. And it just felt really good. And I feel like I'm back. And maybe I didn't fall off the horse. Maybe my foot was stuck in the stirrup and I was just dragged through a couple miles of rough terrain before I swung that other leg up to get back on the horse, right? Maybe I never fell fully off the horse. But I definitely took a beating. But last night I saddled up and I got back on that horse and it felt really good. So yeah, that's my story of redemption. And I was really excited to tell you guys about that. And it's good. I followed my own advice because I do give that advice. And if I'm going to walk the walk, I got to talk the talk, right? And you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And so I'm talking the talk and I'm walking the walk. And guys, I got to tell you, it's worth it. It was worth it to push myself, to make myself do it. And now I cannot wait to get back on stage. I don't know when the next gig is, but I cannot wait. And that's the way life goes. And your middle school crush is in prison. That's the way life goes. Thank you guys so much for listening. Oh my gosh, I just knocked down a bunch of stuff from my set here, whatever. Nothing matters. Thank you for watching episode 66. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you didn't mind this kind of extra, I don't even know, sentimental podcast episodes, the extra inspirational. I don't know. I got to throw some of these in to mix up with the silliness every once in a while, but I really appreciate you guys, and you guys support me so much and for so many years. Like I just posted some behind the scenes photos from all that I don't think I've ever posted before on my Instagram. And so many people were just like, you like really brightened my childhood. And like, these were great days watching you on TV and like, thank you so much for everything. And like just hearing from so many people in the comments, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was just posting some throwaway photos that I just like don't care about. And they were just like, this is amazing. So it just made me feel really good. So I'm feeling great lately, but love you guys. Thank you so much for coming back every week. It really means a lot. It really, really does. All right, bye. Just like a wild window, say something like a rebel. Woo, baby, woo, baby. That's not what doves sound like, by the way. They're like, whoo, whoo, whoo. Just like a wild window, there's something like you're singing. Whoo, whoo, whoo. That's the way the song should go.